Someone created this nice website to practice the Vicus fight. So as you can see, the art is pretty nice. So you just type in the thing, and yeah, look at that. Hey guys, new video here. DPS meters have arrived in Lost Ark. I was logging onto YouTube today. I was watching my friend Haim Fox's video about it, and I'll link that actually below because he goes into some good points. If this DPS meter thing isn't decided to be against TOS to use it, or if Smilegate Amazon, they take a Final Fantasy 14 approach to it where it's don't ask, don't tell policy, it could cause some serious issues, right? I'm not going to go over all the good things about having a DPS meter because that's pretty obvious. We're all used to having them in almost every other MMO, right? I'm also kind of biased as I think more information is always better than less, right? I would like a DPS meter personally. And also, like, how can we take the developers' balance updates seriously if it's shown that numerically, you know, certain classes are still way behind or ahead of other classes, right? However, the negatives are important to mention because Lost Ark is very unlike World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. There is an immense level of sweat right now in Lost Ark, and you know, the gatekeeping, the elitism, and all that will only get worse as we get further into the content cycle, and this will kind of speed that along, right? Logs and DPS meters will make the average player feel a huge amount of FOMO and pressure to like swipe or reroll to the meta classes because they might not get selected, right? And in Lost Ark, because you can literally pay for character power, right? It could be a very negative on that front. Additionally, the combat in Lost Ark, you know, it is somewhat random and reactive. So there are times when like not attacking is the right play, right? You don't actually want to do DPS during certain phases, or you know, you're playing a class with like less personal DPS, but like a more utility, and that's advisable to bring those classes along for certain encounters. And what I can see happening is like people are going to do all kinds of things that hurt the group overall just to get more DPS on this DPS meter if it becomes popular, because you know, they might drop utility skills for more damage skills, stand in AoEs and like greed the damage real quick, but you know, they might die because of that, or like wipe the group. And then, you know, obviously everyone knows that, you know, padding on certain things instead of actually resolving a mechanic or helping a team or whatever. So many things could go wrong with this because it's a different kind of game, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on using this until we get an update, because I don't want like easy anti-cheat to like catch me and then ban me. And I also don't want to get retroactively banned because I'm like using it on stream or something, and then I was like promoting it and it was actually against TOS. So I'll kind of be patient with this one, right? But I will provide the link below if you want to check it out for yourself. Just, you know it comes with risks. If you read the page here, even has a little warning at the bottom there, but I'm sure some of you guys will want to check it out. You guys will find it even if I don't link it there, so it will be in the description. Next big news that I want to talk about today is VALTAN is actually probably coming in May, but they said not before the third week of May, which is May 19th, right? This is very exciting because we've been doing Argos for over a month now, and it's getting kind of boring, right? Like there's like daily chores and there's Argos and the dungeons, but it's all getting a little bit stale. And it's about time to release more content, right? So VALTAN will be a good start, and apparently from the retention numbers that they're always talking about in Korea, this is when the game really pops off and people like come back to the game and stuff, and community becomes a lot bigger. So I'm really excited about that. Quick note on the honing update, because lots of people ask, are there honing buffs coming, right? Does VALTAN come with a honing buff? So the Rocks posted this thing here, and they are not actually increasing the honing rates for May. So whether we get the 14-16 level stronghold honing buff is uncertain, because in Japan and Russia, they got it when VALTAN Hard Annual were released, but in Korea, it wasn't the case, right? So we have to wait on the patch notes for that, but just know that an overall universal honing buff in tier 3 or 2 or 1 is definitely not coming, according to the community managers, right? With this update, it also comes the destroyer class, right? And Rox said that the destroyer is coming with the update that recently happened in Korea, which makes it a much less clunky class to play, and it was overall buff, right? As well, it does also make the class the second class in the game to have a taunt, and that could change a lot of stuff up. So I personally will be making one as long as it comes with a power pass, okay? Speaking of power passes, a little bit of clarification, because this is a huge deciding factor for a lot of people, including myself, once again, if we will play the class and new classes in the future. So the clarification from Rocks about power pass stuff is that the Express event, right, is a one-time event. We don't know if that's coming back, and that actually runs throughout the Destroyer release. So we will absolutely not be getting another Express event to use. So if you haven't used your Express event and you want to use it on Destroyer, you still can. But if you used it already, well, it's just too bad you can't use it on Destroyer anymore, right? And we don't know if another one will come for future classes, when they are released. So a Power Pass, however, is different from the Express Pass. A Power Pass basically gets your character to 960, and that is still being decided by Smilegate and Amazon, okay? On the topic of Power Passes, I think they're amazing. They get you really excited to like jump into the game, get into Tier 3. It only takes like a day or two to get into Tier 3 if you prepare a little bit, and you get to play with all your friends right on release, right? You only get like 9 knowledge transfers, for example. So because we have eventually we'll have up to 24 character slots. Right now we have 18, and there's over 20 classes in this game. You are going to run out of knowledge transfer eventually, right? So not getting a Power Pass would be bad, because those of us that have played a lot of characters, we don't have any more knowledge transfers. So we have to make the 10 to 50 leveling session, which is probably like 10 to 15 hours depending on who you are. And then besides that, not only is it boring, but you will have to still go through the leveling of Yorn, and then you'll have to go through the leveling, well, Rohendel first, then Yorn, then Phaeton, then Punica, right? And you could say, well, why don't you just power knowledge transfer those? Well, you also have a limited amount of those knowledge transfers. And also, you have to wait 8 hours on each one of those. So if you were to do it all in a row, it would be over a 24-hour period, right, of not playing the character while waiting for knowledge transfers, which you can kind of imagine would suck, right, and kill kind of the hype for a new release cast. So I don't think they should. I think it's fine if they don't give a Power Pass for every class on release, but they should announce it kind of earlier, right? Because then we can kind of plan it out, and then we can decide, okay, we got a Power Pass now, maybe we can use it on a character in the future. All right, on to some personal news. What have I been doing in Lost Ark? Well, I've been doing all of my chores every single day, and I've been playing a Soulfist, right? I told you in the last video, I'm making it. It's super fun to play. One of my favorite DPS classes alongside the Shadow Hunter, and however, I finally got it to level 50, and I got it to 1370, honed it up. It was about 40,000 gold. That really sucked, but with the Express event, it wasn't that bad. And then I realized that the Soulfist, it kind of sucks, because I went into the challenge dungeons, right? I have like, full 4x3 engravings. I got 1400 specialization. I got all legendary gear and stuff. And it is like, if my Deathblade, that's 1340, could go into a 1370 dungeon, I'm pretty sure the Deathblade would clear it like 10 times faster. Like, the Soulfist has a real issue killing like a bunch of these grouped up monsters right now, even with like decent gear, right? Maybe it's I don't know how to play it, maybe I'm hitting the buttons wrong or something, but it is like kind of so far behind the other DPS classes, at least in the daily challenge dungeons. So I was a little bit worried there. However, I'm not gonna let that dissuade me from playing it, because once again, when I get into raids, the Jardian raids, the Abyssal dungeons with the Spirit Bomb build, oh man, it is really, really fun to hit that ult, right? And so I always say, you gotta play the classes that you enjoy. Don't go based on like, DPS numbers and all this like weird stuff. Just if you're really having a lot of fun on the class, just play it, right? And that's what I'm gonna do. I'll keep you guys updated because people always tell me, hey, at this item level, it gets better. With this set of stats and this set bonus, it gets better. Oh, if you just learn how to play it this way, or maybe try out this other spec, it gets better. I'll have to see, right? Because I've only been playing it a couple days. I was spending like an hour or two after stream every day, leveling the Soulfist to 50. So I've barely had any time with it, and maybe it will get better. Keep you guys posted. In other news, I wanted to share a couple little tweaks I've done to the game that I've also learned from other people and from the subreddit that have made the game more enjoyable for me, right? I kind of end these videos with like maybe some tips or something. And that is, number one, there are launch options in Steam. So if you go to your Steam and you right click on the Lost Ark in the the menu on the left side, and you go to launch options, here are the settings that I use to launch Lost Ark. What do these do? Well, if you don't, I'm not really like tech savvy or anything, but after launching these, I did see a noticeable improvement in loading screens. I saw noticeable improvement in stutter and pop-in and stuff like that of NPCs and interactables, structures, things like that, and just made the game overall smoother. So you can try it. If it doesn't work or it makes the game worse, or you don't notice anything, you can always take it out, right? You just go back in there, launch options, and just delete that line and then save it. But I think, I have a really good PC, and if I noticed it, then it should work for anyone with a lower tier PC as well, right? For example, I have a 3090 and an 11900K. Additionally, for even more performance gains in this game, you can go into the chat options. So I'm going to show a clip on the screen here, and this is basically in your chat box. You can right click on the tab, go into chat settings, uncheck XP and currency. So if you don't know what these are, you know how like every time you kill a monster, right, just by default, if you pick up some silver, it'll say you gained 300 silver, or you gained 12 XP, you gained 18 XP. And it shows up so many times for every single pickup and for every single kill. And like you say, wait, how can this text affect my game? But somehow it does. It's weird. So if you just uncheck these boxes and then save it, you'll actually get performance, especially in your daily challenge dungeons and things where there's a lot of mobs, when you're out doing your adventure journal, things like this. So try it out. And that's about it for what I want to talk about in this video, right? Like, it's been a kind of slow week and stuff, so I haven't really been making these update videos because there hasn't been any news until today, I guess. So try out these tips. If it does help you, let me know in the comments, right? So that other people can be like, oh, it actually works, or it doesn't work for me, and all this other stuff, right? If you gotten this far in the video, also make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I think that's what I'm supposed to say here. If you guys have any more questions, I stream every day on Twitch in the evenings usually, twitch.tv/q_, and maybe I'll see some of you guys there. All right, thanks for watching my video, guys. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye.